Hello again, and thanks for joining us. In this video we're going to be discussing manipulating planes. So we've talked about what the planes are, and in previous videos I've really encouraged that all of our planes are flat and on 90-degree angles. So spinning in the wheel plane, for instance, you want your meteor traveling at 90 degrees. What we don't want to see is a bend this way, where the meteor inclines toward our center line. Okay, so I really discouraged that in the past, and for good reason, coming from a martial arts background. But not everyone who watches these videos or who wants to learn Meteor Hammer, wants to stay geared towards that direction. You might want to experiment with the dance side of things, or you just want to flow however your body wants to flow. So in that regard, bending planes, manipulating your planes, or breaking the planes, all things we're going to talk about in this video, those become very important. So let's talk about bending the plane. So I'll start out in a wall plane. Now as I do this, I can gradually twist my meteor around so that it's in the wheel plane, and I can even keep going backward, backward, backward until it's in the wall plane behind me again. So this is something that you could do either this way, staying vertical, gradually bending the plane so that if it's this way you can bend it out that way. Okay, so that's bending the plane. But we can also bend the plane this way as well. So say I start out in the wheel plane, not only do I have the option to bend my plane to the front this way and back again, but I can also turn it flat on its side as well so that I'm spinning overhead, and I can also bring it back vertical again. So this is something that you really should experiment with, so that you not only learn how to manipulate your meteor to the fullest, but you can also explore your space to the fullest as well. So that's bending planes. Now the difference between bending a plane and breaking a plane is that when we break a plane in one spin, or let's say two spins really, we go from a vertical position into horizontal position. So that is breaking the plane. It's one spin here, and then straight up to one spin above our head. And so I'll show you a few different ways to get into that. So just from a stationary position, I guess the key to transitioning smoothly is we want a very strong transition from the vertical to the horizontal. So that means that when you're spinning vertically, I'm spinning you can see that I'm spinning at a slow pace right now, but when I switch to going overhead, I'm going to put a little bit more force in that spin to go over my head. So I start off a little bit slow here, but I really want to raise the force that I use in here to help it transition more smoothly to going over my head. So that's tip number one, is use a lot of power in your head and really whip it across your body over your head. The next thing that I'll do, I guess the next tip, is your elbow position and your hand position. So just without the meteor for a second, if I'm using my lead hand to spin, I can use my waist to generate more power. And this is something that I advocate a lot, especially having a Kung Fu background. Waist power is key in Kung Fu. Trying to generate strength from just the arm itself gives you a fraction of the power that you could otherwise generate from the ground up, using your spine and your torso, your core, to really facilitate the flow of energy into your extremities. So here's how we manipulate that. We are going to keep our elbow tight to our waist, And then as we spin, we're going to move our shoulder and our arm in one piece in conjunction with our waist. Then this motion, this torque motion, generates that power for that spin. So I don't need to throw my shoulder out or my arm in a particular direction to help generate more force. Or I don't need to create small circles within circles to help generate more force. This torquing motion creates that force for me. So my elbow stays tight to my waist. I'm gonna torque, and as I torque, I'm just gonna raise my arm straight up over my head that way. So this motion, this torque and push, that creates a lot of that extra power that you need. And it creates extra power while saving energy that you expend. So it creates more power while not stressing out your shoulder, to generate that power. So once again, in practice, it looks like this. We're starting with a down spin. I'm just going to torque and push my hand over my head. Okay? And it seems to happen very, very quickly because of this tight rotation at the waist. One more time. Here, torque, and straight up over the head. Now, you can also do this stepping. And there are a ton of different ways to transition into this, but in this video, I just want to focus on the core movement, and then I want you to go out and experiment as much as you can with different ways of breaking that plane, getting from a vertical spin to a horizontal spin. So we went over this briefly in a previous video with a movement called Cut the Snake's Waist. And that involves stepping and pivoting, and stepping and pivoting is what it involves. So we're going to use that same principle to move. So here's what I'll do. I'll face this way, and I'm spinning. I'll start out spinning in the wheel plane. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cross over once. I'm going to take a step, and I'm going to torque and take a step backwards, and this sets me up. And from here, I'm just going to turn using the principles that I just explained just a moment ago, by keeping my elbow tight to my waist, torquing nice and sharply toward my anchor hand, and then raising my hand above my head. Okay, just like that. So one more time. I'm starting here, facing to the front with my down spin. I'm going to cross my meteor over, take one step, pivot to the other side, take a step, and this is going to set me up for my torque. From here, I'm just going to spin and raise my meteor over my head. And when you're spinning vertically, I mean, you can drag that out, that step pivot. You can drag that out as much as you want, and you can add jumps in there. You can really do a lot with just the foundation of that movement itself. So really, I want you to go out and practice and experiment this on your own, and see what you incline towards naturally for how you transition from a vertical plane to a horizontal plane. And let me know. Visit my channel. You can message me if you have requests for movements that you would like to have explained. If you would like to see more tutorial videos, and trust me, I have a lot more of these videos to do, then stop by my channel, subscribe for more videos. I want to thank you all again for watching, and we'll see you next time.